Hi everyone. We are going to try something different today where I go off script. This is unfiltered. This is not something planned. I was wanting to get to know you and for you to get to know me. So we're doing something different today. You can see I'm in my classroom, right? Completely relaxed, and let's just see where this takes us. So, when I have new students come into my classroom, uh, I always put them on the spot. When you put someone on the spot, is like you go directly to the most important question. And usually that question is, so tell me something about yourself. And very often the students are like, and they don't know what to say. So today, with my cup of tea, I thought I could share some stuff about myself and give you an example of when someone says, so what can you tell me about yourself? Basically, they're saying, who are you? And let me open my tea. There we go. So with that, what do you tell people? So I have myself a little diagram. It's probably going to be the wrong way around. That's fine, doesn't matter. A little mind map of things that make us who we are, right? So when someone says, "So tell me about yourself," for me, part of a huge part of my identity is the fact that I'm from South Africa. I live in Spain. I've lived in Spain for a while, but I am South African, and for me, it's such a huge part of my identity because, well, first of all, you don't meet many South Africans in Spain, number one. Number two, the majority of people you see are from America or England. So when you see cuando lo ves los guiris, right, when you see the foreigners that are speaking English, they automatically assume, it's an English person, or it's an American person. Sometimes I get people to say, oh, you're Australian, but I'm not. So being South African and connecting to that part of my identity is very important to me. My husband is also South African, so we have a very strong South African household. But it's definitely something that I really enjoy about myself, and I'm grateful to be South African. I'll probably do another video like this talking about South Africa as well. I could talk about South Africa, or actually, if I move the camera a little bit, you can actually see that I show my. There you go. You can see the South African flag and the map, so that when new students come into the classroom, and they go, "Oh, well, you're English, right?" And I'm like, "Look at the flag. Does that look like the English flag? No." So that's quite funny. The second thing that I could say that's very important to my identity and who I am and what I like to tell people is that first and foremost, that's a very nice expression. First and foremost, meaning like one of the first things is that I'm a teacher. Obviously, if you've been listening to the podcasts, you can hear that I've been, I love talking about grammar and I love talking about expressions. So I've been a teacher for more than 10 years now, I think. Yeah, it's more than 10 years. And I love it. I absolutely love teaching English. I think I love teaching people in general, and I love helping people, finding ways for people to, always better themselves. But I think specifically English because I have a love of English. I'm a huge reader. I love reading. And I love the language and I love the grammar and I love how we find ways to express ourselves. So, yeah, I love being in the classroom. And to be honest, I can't think of myself doing any other kind of job. Being a lawyer or being a doctor or what's another job? Lawyer, doctor. I've gone blank. Optometrist, someone that works with eyes, right? Anyway, doing any other job, I can't imagine doing something different. I love teaching, and I teach from little kids all the way up to adults. And in the classroom, it's so dynamic because for 1 hour, I'm teaching kids, and then the next hour, I'm teaching lower level adults, but then I'm teaching in the next class teenagers, but that are like at C1 level. So the brain has to do this all the time. And it's such an interesting way because as the teacher, I have to be dynamic, but it's also my job to try and bring that dynamic vibe right out of my students. So I like to think that I have a really, really good relationship with my students, especially with my kids. I don't have kids, like personally, I don't have any kids, but I consider the kids that I teach my kids, because they always say, Profe, Aurelia, do you have any children? And I'm like, no, because you are my kids and you are enough. Right? So I'm always trying to find ways to like have a good relationship with my students, not to be their friend, because there has to be a very clear, distinct, it's a nice word, distinct line between student and teacher, but there is definitely, a space for us to tell jokes and make fun of each other. And when I because in the method that I use when I'm teaching, I will say something in English, then translate it into Spanish, and then say it in English again. And sometimes when I make a mistake in Spanish, the kids are like, haha, you made a mistake. But I'm like, because you do the same. So there's a really good vibe to the class. So those are the two things that are like one of the first things that I always tell people. Been teaching for many, many years, and I'm from South Africa. The three other things that I have that I usually like to tell people about are obviously your hobbies. Your hobbies are the things that make you who you are. It's part of your personality. It's things that you can share with other people. So like I already said, I am a huge reader. I love to read. On average, I try to read about 60 books a year. So a lot of reading, right? But my main genre, what is genre? Category of books is usually romance and fantasy. That being said, is another good expression. That being said, I try to expand my reading. I try to add a lot of non-fiction books. I try to add a lot of classics into my reading, just to keep more knowledge coming into my brain, right? So that I don't get too comfortable and step outside of my comfort zone. So for me, that's important. Actually, at the moment on audiobook, I have the classic book, Around the World in 80 Days. I think that's even my Spanish kids know it, Alrededor del Mundo en 80 días, 80 días. So that's a classic that I'm busy with. So that's an audiobook. And then a normal, let's say, book is The Talented Mr. Ripley, another classic, like written in the 50s. So two very good books, and I'm surprised that I'm enjoying them quite a lot. Last year, I read some classics that I was like, kill me now. But so far, so good. Another good expression. So far, so good. So books, 100%. Video games, oh my God, love video games. And when I try to connect with my teenagers about video games, I'm like, oh, you're a gamer? What video games? And the boys are always like, FIFA, Call of Duty. What's the other one? It's another shooting game. I can't remember. Fortnite. Yeah, no, those are not my jam. When something is your jam, it means that's your thing. That's the thing that you like. So those kinds of games are not my jam. I definitely prefer like fantasy games, role-playing games. If there's anyone listening that enjoyed like games like The Witcher, Baldur's Gate, Dragon, what's it? Dragon Origin? Dragon Age. Sorry, I forgot the word. So Dragon Age, The Witcher, Skyrim, those are my games where I sort of like become a different person in the game. Find that to be absolutely fantastic. So those are the two biggest hobbies. Another, let's say, hobby is journaling. Actually, we have a series called Real Life, Real English, where Anthony, one of our teachers at Daway, he interviews other teachers. And he interviewed me, and I shared a lot about journaling. Love journaling. I love writing and organizing my brain and sort of creating a deeper relationship with myself. I think that's very important, and I think that everybody should be doing that. And it's one of my main things that I actually try to share with people on my social media. Right. So if you want more information, just ask, and I will tell you so much. Literally, when someone's like, "Oh, I think I'm interested in journaling," I'm just like, there's interested in journaling, which is like a little bit, and you're like, oh, I'll send you 1 or 2 videos and I'll help you, like, figure out the type of journaling that you want. And then there's like, Aurelia, tell me all the information that you have, and I will give you like 5 or 6 hours of information and details and knowledge about journaling and the type of journaling and the books and and people that you should follow. So if you want to know more about these things, guys, just comment in the video or comment on our social media, and I'm your gal. I'll tell you all the things. So yeah, those are the big things. The books, games, journaling are probably my biggest hobbies. I'm trying to get back into the gym. I used to be a gym bunny. Now, a gym bunny, bunny as in rabbit, as in conejo, a gym bunny is a girl who loves to go to the gym. And I used to be a gym bunny a couple of years ago. I used to be very active and very fit, and I lost that habit, and I'm trying to get back into it. So those are probably my 4, let's say, biggest things that I'm interested in. But I have a lot of things that I am obsessed with. And obviously obsession comes and goes, right? So what I'm obsessed with now is not something that I was obsessed with last year. It's different for everyone. And in the tea that I'm drinking green tea. Now, I love green tea in general, but this is God's gift to me. Specifically, it's green tea with mint, which is what I always drink, right? Mente or menta, right? So green tea with mint, but this has raspberry frambuesa. Guys, I promise that my Spanish is better than it sounds. I'm talking into the microphone if you can't see. It's just sometimes there are some words, like I struggle with R. The other day I was talking with my students, with my kids, and we were talking about hopscotch. Hopscotch in Spanish is rayuela, right? I can't say that word. So there are some words that I just really struggle with the pronunciation. Anyway, totally off topic. So current obsession is this green tea with raspberry, totally addicted. Also, you can ask any of my students, me and my teenagers, we connect, we bond over TikTok, our love for TikTok. I spend way too much time on TikTok. The problem with TikTok, the great thing and the problem with TikTok is that it's very easy for the algorithm to find your sense of humor. So I find a lot of funny videos that it's like the humor was made for me. And then I show it to my husband. I'm like, look, this is so funny. And he's like, haha, no. Right. So it's, you find your sense of community on TikTok, and the table's moving a lot. Sorry, it's very wiggly. I'll try not to touch the table. What was I saying? So it's very easy to find your community on TikTok. You have your sense of humor, your hobbies, and people that you just generally connect with. So I love TikTok, number one. What else? So it's a TikTok I'm obsessed with at the moment. This tea I'm obsessed with. Oh, and for anyone living in Spain, do yourself a favor, which is a very nice expression. I say it a lot. Do yourself a favor, go to Mercadona and buy the Mercadona Kit Kat. It's like the copy of Kit Kat, but it's not. I have a packet. Actually, I just finished it yesterday. It's this one, right? Oh my God, the best thing ever. So those are the 3 things that I'm addicted to at the moment. And then the final thing that when people tell you, when you're getting to know someone, is the things that you don't like, because you can also bond. Was good verb. To bond means to connect, right? So a good way to bond with people is to share the things that you don't like, and they're like, oh my God, me too. And the thing that I bond with my students a lot is I hate with todo de mi alma is mushrooms, champiñones. ugh. Students are like, oh, broccoli or oh, this. But no, the majority of us hate mushrooms. So if I ever meet anyone or any of you that are watching or listening, don't talk to me about mushrooms. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about how it's the most fantastic thing to put in spaghetti or pasta. No, it isn't. Don't put it on your pizza, tampoco. The only thing that should be going on pizza is pineapple. That is a debate that I have with a lot of my students, whether pizza goes with pineapple or not. The answer is yes, okay? That is the only answer I will accept. Anyway, that is the episode that I wanted to share with you today. So things that you can share with people when they say, so what can you tell me about yourself? It would be where you're from, your job, or let's say the industry that you're in, hobbies, dislikes, and current obsessions. And that's it for today. So let me know if you... Oh, there's one more thing that I'm addicted to, and I actually want your guys' advice. A lot of my students, I'll say, like, so what kind of music are you into, right? When you're into something, it means that you like it. And they go, reggaeton. I don't like reggaeton. I'm not a fan of reggaeton, but I'm trying to, again, expand my Spanish listening. So my current obsession is the Gypsy Kings. Now, the Gypsy Kings, I think, I don't know if they're Spanish or like Latin American Spanish, but they're an old band. You know the song? It goes, Bomboleo, Bomboleo. Love it. I listened to it when I was a kid, not understanding anything. I mean, I still don't know what a bomboleo is. And it goes, Joby, Joba, da, da. I don't know what a joby and a joba is, but I love the music. So if you have any recommendations for Spanish music, I also like Morat, and I also like De Vicio. So any other Spanish music that you can recommend for me to improve my Spanish listening and also to just expand my music knowledge of Spanish music, that'd be great. Otherwise, everyone, if you enjoy this episode, I'll do another one soon. Chat to you soon. Bye.
Si disfrutaste de este episodio y quieres llevar tu inglés al siguiente nivel, te invitamos a descubrir nuestros cursos online en Daway.es, diseñados para mejorar tu fluidez y confianza en situaciones reales. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a transformar su aprendizaje. Visita ahora Daway.es y realiza nuestro test de nivel interactivo de manera gratuita. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen de Unfiltered cómodamente desde casa.